What's up, guys? Those of you who's joining us, we're waiting to go live on Facebook in a minute. We're talking about today the mental side, the emotional side of video marketing, the mental side of video. This is going to be part of our
mental side of video.
Mental side of video. What the heck does that mean, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I can certainly give my experience later.
Well, that's why we're here. So you can give your experience. That's the whole reason we're here.
And you were the first one to actually train me on that a little bit.
Oh, good. So we are diving in today to the mental side of video, the emotional side of video marketing.
Yes.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk, Junkie, on video, that agents should use video, how to do video. But I think rarely do we cover the emotional component of video. Mm-hmm. And there really is an emotional side to being on camera. You agree with that?
I totally agree with it, Jess, and welcome everybody who's joining us. But yeah, I totally agree, Jess, because there's so much that goes, and you sometimes freeze up in front of a camera. You don't know what to say, and you don't know what you will expect, and what is the outcome of what you will receive from somebody. So when someone, you get easily distracted with a comment, and your train of thought just slides the other way, and you're like, okay, I want to respond to this comment. What do I say? Yep. Sometimes you freeze in your brain. Don't you agree?
Oh, 100%. And so those of you joining us, I'm Jesse Zagorski. I'm a real estate broker associate. I'm a team leader in San Diego. Janki Patel runs a team in, you just call it Bay Area, Northern California. So Silicon Valley. How do you describe your area?
Oh my gosh, good point. East Bay, Silicon Valley, right there, cool. In the Bay Area. Yeah, I run my team here in the Bay Area.
But we both do a lot of video here in Lab Coat Agents, as well as just on our own through marketing to clients. And so we were talking about in this Emotional Gymnastics for Real Estate Agents series, everything that we're doing, and we do this every other Friday, is talking about some of the emotional intelligence side of real estate. So you have your IQ and your EQ. Mm-hmm. Your EQ is the emotional quotient, right? As you're developing that side. And how does that relate to video? Because if we all know, most of us watching this, we need to be doing more video, even if everyone's always do more video. I guess the first question is, from just an emotional bandwidth side, how do you prepare yourself for making video? Let's start there.
Yeah. And another question I have, Jesse, is that you get so emotionally involved. There's sometimes you get this anxiety inside, and you're like, okay, will I be good? Will I be perfect? And you don't. And you know what? I was just on a webinar with Tessabella Gelton, and she's the Instagram queen. And I have to tell you, she says, just go out there and be yourself. Be yourself, but it's not that easy. We freeze up all the time. Like, we don't know what to say. And we're like, okay, what do we say now? And you, like I said earlier, we get distracted with the comments coming in. We get sidetracked with, should I respond to this comment? When you're doing a Facebook Live, your train of thought just disappears sometimes. And it's happened to me quite a few times. I remember coming here the first time, and Jesse, you were the one, and I was doing a 10-minute live. And I'm like, okay, what do I say? How do I say? And you said, Janki, just flow with the conversation. And I'll never forget that. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you to actually help me with that. And you said, just make it a flow of conversation. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And ever since then, I always remember every time I get on a webinar, your words, it's just a flow of conversation. So the camera is there, but just imagine you being yourself and being natural with what you want to say to someone else. It's a conversation.
Well, and I think that's a really good reminder. So in terms of how do you prepare yourself, part of it is realizing, even if you're doing something on video, the idea is to get yourself into a place of being present, where when Tessabella says, be yourself, to me, that's a reminder to be present, right? If I'm present here in the moment, instead of being present on, like you said, there's comments that's coming in. Like right now, I'm staring at a little black circle. Right? That's not, but it's just something you get used to as you do it over and over again. But looking at this black circle, you feel like I'm looking at you right now, correct? Like looking at the black circle actually is looking at someone. And so I think you just get used to the idea that looking at the black circle that's what I'm present to. That's what I'm focusing on. And then I'm listening to what's happening. But to me, it's all about that present focus in terms of my emotions. If I feel myself getting nervous, I I embrace the fact that I'm feeling a little nervous. At this point, I don't get nervous as often because you do so many of these. But if you find yourself getting nervous, it's almost better to embrace that and bring yourself back to the present focus.
Yeah, like, look, right now we just got a little distracted, right? Because Priyanka's joining and possibly joining, and we're like, oh, there's a squirrel back there. Yeah. She is, you know.
And I'm glad she's here, because the reason we wanted Priyanka on here with us. So Priyanka Jory is a real estate agent or broker out of Houston, Texas, and she really doesn't like video, which is. So I love the fact that we have someone from the opposite side of the viewpoint here, because she's not a fan of video.
And trust me, she is a boulder to reckon with. I mean, she'll come in here and why do I not like it? And, you know, she is amazing at what, you know, and she's a high D. She doesn't really care what people think. But I love the fact that her spirit is so amazing, because she'll say how it is. And sometimes, you know, on videos, people think we cannot say certain things, but you got to be your natural self. That's the bottom line. I believe that, you know, in order to prepare yourself to get there, just be natural, right? Wouldn't you agree to that, Jesse?
I do. And Priyanka, can you hear us now? Oh, she's coming in the frame. I don't know. Let us know when you can hear us, Priyanka, because I want to ask you a question too. But yes, it is all about being natural. And that's why I'm curious to ask Priyanka, who's someone who really doesn't like, I actually like video. Do you like video, Junkie?
I do. I do. I never did before, but now I do, only because I know it's become second nature to me, right? I can talk. I'm comfortable with it. Before I wasn't. Before I was like, Priyanka, like, I don't care. I don't care for video. But I see where my social world is headed. Especially being here in the Silicon Valley, I know that everyone is on social like crazy, and the world is becoming on social. We can't go out there and door knock. So how do I pass my message along to my past clients, or to my clients, with not only with a phone call, but with a Zoom, also through social?
So do you, in terms of getting comfortable, do you watch your own videos? Like at the beginning, now, ever? Do you ever watch your own videos?
I do, and I critique myself so much. It's not even funny. And I'll say my hair doesn't look good, or I don't look good, or this or that. I get very uncomfortable and very out of shape. I'm like, oh my God, I got to lose weight. I look so big on video. I critique myself. And that is sometimes damaging, right? It's damaging self-talk. You don't want to do that. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Well, we'll come back to that watching videos. I want to make sure to see, Priyanka, can you hear us now? Good. You can hear us, but I can't hear you yet for some reason. I feel like we're on CNN or one of those places where you have like the correspondent from overseas that we're like trying to get the feed to work. All right. Well, we'll come back to Priyanka when she can hear us. So in terms of watching your video, I don't know where you guys are at watching this in your particular video journey. So type in the comments box or let me know. Are you video pros? Are you just getting started with it? But if you are someone who's earlier on in the video journey, I do think there is some power to rewatching the videos that you shoot. I do think there is some things that will help you from an emotional standpoint to, one, you have to get used to it. It helps you kind of, if you know the word habituate, you are getting used to seeing yourself in video and you're looking for things. But if you do find that negative self-talk coming in, like Junkie is talking about, you really got to be very cautious of that, because you want to focus on, are you getting your message across? Is it being communicated? As opposed to, I know it's hard. What does your hair look like? That's what your hair look like. That's what it was. No one's looking at your hair the way you are. When you watch other people's videos, I doubt you are as critical of them as you are of your own. And so for me personally, as I've done more and more videos, I don't go back and watch my videos anymore, at least in depth. I just watch little pieces of them, see if there's things I can improve. But that really helped for me to not obsess over, okay, it's recorded, it's done, move on. Right? Especially for a Facebook Live or something you're not going to do editing or post-production on. That to me helped go back to, for live video specifically, to be in the moment. I want to improve my delivery, but other than that, I want it to be just, that's what it was. Move on, go to the next one.
Yeah.
Veronica, can we hear you yet?
Can you hear me? You still can't hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, good. Finally.
I think your video and your voice is a little lag.
There's a little delay. It's okay. We'll give a minute. So,
yeah.
So you may have to restart something, Priyanka, or come back. But just if we can hear you now, for the question for you was, you really don't. You really don't like video, right?
I hate it.
I told you, she's no sugarcoating right there. She'll tell you how it is, which I love that about Priyanka. I'm like that too. Like, I don't like videos. I didn't like videos is what I'm going to say. So we're totally opposite spectrum on that. Now I have embraced videos because I know that's where some of my business comes from. But Priyanka, tell us, why do you hate videos? It'll be good to know.
Because it's extra time. Like, so today's meeting, right? I had to do my hair. I had to do my makeup. I had to think about what I have to wear. I'm not that kind of a person. I do not pay attention to appearance, but it seems like if you're going to be on a video, you have to put little effort in it. And I think for women, it's more than the men. You can just go. But for us women, we have to do the hair, makeup, all those kind of things. And for me, I do not wear makeup. I do not do my hair regularly. I'm usually in ponytail. So it took extra 45 minutes that I don't have. My life is so busy, right? Mm-hmm. And just to do something, it's like you have to plan it. And I'm the most, I don't plan things, right? So I just go. Whatever fire's coming my way, I'm just going to take care of this and move on. New idea comes in, I'm just going to jump on it, move on. And doing video is you have to plan. I'm not a planner. I'm just go on the spot kind of a person. And that's why I hate it. And a lot of time I go back, then what Janki is saying, I said, oh, I wish I had said that. Or I wish I had said it differently. Oh, no, this is like not what I meant. Now that I'm re-listening to it, it just becomes like too much of a time drain for me.
Getting ready, preparing for the event. I totally hear you, Priyanka. This morning was so rough with my puppy, especially she had another seizure. And it was like, okay, I'm dealing with her and I'm dealing with, getting on Insta, getting on another hosting webinar and then getting on this one. And so it was back to back. Then, I converted 2 other buyers are like, okay, we want to see properties tomorrow. It is a lot. It is definitely a lot, right? And then getting ready and, showtime ready. Yeah, it does take a lot out. So what is the gain out of it?
Yep. I mean, it's not like, and I tried to do this year before COVID. So it's like in 2019, I did on the spot videos. I was like, forget about makeup, light and this. And they didn't look very good. And I don't watch videos that are not very good, right? So why waste time doing something that people are not going to watch? Because my personality is like, I click on something. If it's too long, people are doing long introduction. I have moved on. I don't have patience. I have ADHD, right? I can't stay waiting for the content kind of thing. Like, oh, it's a 20 minutes video and I'm going to wait to see when it gets better. If in first 30 seconds you didn't grab my attention. So if light is not good, or I'm not thinking about, oh, light is not good. I'm just like, oh, this video is dark. It's not appealing to me. I move on. And I assume a lot of people do the same thing. Like I am more of a, give me a blurb, I skip through really quickly the reading and then move on. I don't like videos, even watching videos. So maybe it has something to do with, that's why I don't want to do it because I don't watch that many videos.
Right. And that is probably part of it. If you don't watch it yourself, then why do it? So when you did do videos for either of you guys, I'm curious, because so Priyanka, when you used to do those on-demand videos, from an emotional standpoint, do you find that the responses that you get to the videos, does it affect how you feel? Whether like if it gets more views, it gets more likes, it gets more comments, does that affect it either way for either of you guys?
I did live once. I noticed that people won't come on my lives that often if I'm doing real estate. If I'm doing puppy videos, dog videos, so many people will come on. Same thing happened when I was doing live videos for my assisted living for my seniors. The musicians are coming or volunteers doing something or the residents are doing something. I have more people come on live and watch, like stay and watch. I didn't get the same thing with real estate. I'm showing a home or talking about real estate. People will come and go. It won't last very long because I think real estate is like if they at that moment are not looking for it, it's not something that grabs their attention. So I won't say it's an emotional thing. It's more like, it's waste of time. Only 2 people watched it. Oh, this was fun because 30 people were, with me on live, watching the dogs playing or whatever we were doing kind of thing. So I think social media videos, and I think that's why TikTok is so popular not for the business part of it, but just the fun part of it. That's what people watch. People watch it for fun videos, not because they're looking for real estate video, unless until they are at that moment looking to buy or sell. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally see what she's saying as well. But on the other end of the spectrum, I have noticed when I do real estate videos, like showing properties or about to get into a listing appointment, stay tuned. I do get a lot of views, right, on my Facebook. And there was one video that I did. I was on a property, showing a property in Los Altos. It was around $7 million. And I was showing the property. Right before I showed it, I asked, and I did a video on lap code. That got, 1.2K views on it. I think it was almost 2K views on it. Plus, I got tons of comments on it because of the pricing. Because I said, hey, guess what the pricing is on this. Guess what this home is listed for.
So that's the same reason people watch HGTV, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to see those expensive properties. That's why all those programs are very popular. But they are not your clients. They are not the people who are actively buying or selling. They're just viewers, just like my dog video viewer. Same thing, whatever you're showing, they were not there because of real estate. They were there because this is oh my God, this is a $7 million listing, right?
Right.
I think it's kind of, yeah.
So we did gain. So when I did the same thing on my personal page, we got 4 buyers and 2 sellers out of just that one video.
Right.
And that was like, what?
Good for you. Yeah.
Really? Like, I was shocked. And that's when that aha clicked in my head and said, all right, I need to focus on doing not only real estate videos, but other videos as well.
Yeah.
You hear this said all the time. Video is the future of the real estate industry.
Say it again.
I hear it said all the time. Video is the future of the real estate industry. But I don't know if it's just real estate. I think video is the future of where a lot of our online platforms for most industries is going. So the question is, how do you keep your emotional state and your self-worth separate from just your video count? I think it's a common thing. It's not necessarily an ego level, but some of it's ego for people, but some of it's, there's a real legitimate business reason why you want to have more views on your videos. But how do you keep that separate from your emotional state? You seem to have a pretty good separation. Both you guys do. How do you keep that clean?
Well, I have to be honest, I don't. I can't keep it separate. That's why I'm doing makeup and hair. I'm sure videos that I have watched in the past, that I have done before, something clicked in my head that I need to, right? And that's why it's another video, now I have to waste another 45 minutes, an hour getting ready.
That's the problem is you feel like it's a waste. You feel compelled to do it.
See, for me, if I don't wake up every morning and get ready and show up ready and go out there dressed up and ready to go, I just feel like I've just wasted my day being non-productive. So I wake up, and yes, it does take time to get ready. It does take time to dress up. And, there are days when I don't want to do it. Yeah, there are days when I just say, all right, I'm done. There's no appointments. I want to just lazily talk to my team and do production work, right? Work on my business. And sometimes I do have to work in my business, and that's when the videos and all that comes in, right? So it's just depending on the day, I guess, day to day.
No, for me, I do not do makeup or hair. When I go meet my clients, I go in jeans and t-shirts, no makeup, no hair. I don't think any of my clients have ever seen me dressed up. So if I show up, and a couple of times it has happened where I did the hair and makeup and I show up, my clients are like, what happened? Everything's okay? What's going on? This is something out of ordinary for them. Right. And my clients don't care that I'm in sports shoes, jeans, that's what I'm wearing, right? So I have company t-shirt, that's what I wear 7 days a week. For me, getting ready is like a 10 minutes affair.
Yeah.
Put your jeans on, put your shoes on, put your t-shirt on, wrap your hair in a ponytail, out the door.
It is a double standard. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a double standard that men can shoot video without much preparation, that women, there is more that goes into it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that too. There are times I've done videos with Tristan where he's in a cap and he just shows up in a t-shirt and I'm like, dude, That's just like, I got to get ready and do the whole 9 yards here. But again, it's showing up, and what relevant content are you sharing? Sometimes I don't have to put on that, makeup and do my hair, and sometimes I do. And it's like, I've come to a point where I just say, just show up. Just show up.
And put on a Lab Coat Agent's hat.
Yeah, exactly.
If you just put on a Lab Coat Agent's hat, you're pretty much good for anything. I think that's a.
Yeah, Tristan, if you're hearing, Jake, whoever's out there, you guys have to get me that hat. Lab Coat Agent's hat. Sandra, listen to me.
It's going to save you 20 minutes every morning.
So funny thing is, in 2019, my assistant actually ordered me a wig because I was complaining about doing this so much. And she's like, what's the problem? I said, the hair, it's just like, takes so much time. I'm hating it. She actually ordered me a wig, and I put the wig on. I was like, this is not me at all, and threw it away. So that was just waste of money. It would have been a quick fix, but I hated that also.
Yeah.
All right. So back on
it's all about time. It's all about time, right?
It's time. It's like that 45 minutes is really gets to me. I could have done something more productive in those 45 minutes.
And I get this. So I guess the question is video really that important?
I don't know. It's just like, if it's helping somebody, maybe. I'm not thinking that I'm getting any business out of it. The videos that I have done before that have been very popular have been more altruistic, fun, more like people want to see somebody happy. People want to see happy dogs, happy seniors.
And that's the niche right there, Priyanka, right? That is what people love to see from you.
I know, and they see that, but I don't get real estate business out of it because I'm not talking about real estate over there. Like, it has happened to me enough times. So it's like, we forget that you do real estate also. We know you as like, dog rescue lady. We know as like, you love seniors, you do anything for you. Yes, kind of thing. That is my image out there, right? My real estate clients that have been my past real estate clients, they send me most of my business. Like, since January, all the business that I have done is 100% referral. So it's like those people, because they have used me over there like that, but I don't think the new people kind of know about it. Like, I have vast following because of the rescue work and the senior work.
And for me, I love, I've begun to embrace, like I said earlier, I've begun to, Jesse, embrace doing videos. Before, I was like Priyanka, which I didn't want to see. I didn't see any benefit. And I hated the fact that I have to dress up, and I hated the fact that I had to do my hair and makeup to get all glorified for the videos, right? But after doing so many endless webinars for LCA, and becoming a moderator and then hosting the videos, the webinars, I learned so much from that, Jesse. I learned that, it's not about how you look so much. People want the content. People want, and then I put my education hat on, is that what is it that I want out of this? And that's how videos became more easier for me, because I really didn't care as much how I looked, and I understood that I want to learn something out of being on these webinars, which every single time I do these webinars, I take something out of it.
Which I love that. So let's dive into that for a few minutes. Like, how did you go from never being on camera to like recording your first video, and then that level of that comfort process in terms of like, especially from an emotional standpoint, especially from like the mental side of like, how did you go from that? Do
you remember? I don't know if you remember, Jesse, but remember the 10-minute live that we did? I don't know who it was, but you were with me, and it's like, Jesse, junkie, Jesse, all right, I'm out. All right. And I'm like, okay, what do I do now? And you're like, okay, just follow these questions. And I'm like,
is that when you first started getting comfortable with it?
Yeah, no, I was very uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable, where I was having anxiety. Like, what do I say? I don't know this person. What kind of questions do I ask? And so I was very uncomfortable, Jesse, and you were there to help me with that. So thank you. And like I said, I'm always grateful, grateful right here. Yeah. My pillow showing. I'm grateful for that. But I started getting comfortable after doing 10-minute live, and then full-blown video. But I was always handheld with either one or two webinars. And after that, I was very comfortable, because I'm like, yeah, this is this is no brainer. I just have to make sure that I understand the content of delivery that I'm putting out there. And so I think that is the main thing is what, if you're not comfortable with your content of what you want your audience to hear, that's when it gets more uncomfortable for me.
So I think that's where my issues, like talking like this is not a problem. So I don't think of like we are doing a video, but when I'm doing a video like alone and trying to put the content out, my brain works faster than my mouth. So when I'm saying like I'm on the second line, my brain is already on fifth line and I skip. And I do that in conversations also sometimes when I'm very excited about a topic and I'm going, and I do it with my staff. So my assistant, my caregivers, all is like, hold on. What did you say? And I think I have already said something which is in my brain, but my mouth has still behind. So it's jumping, So when you look at the video, it sometimes does not make sense.
Yeah.
That happens to me a lot.
And I do that with my family or I've learned how to segment that, Priyanka, because sometimes I will I will expect someone to know what's going on in my brain. And they're like, wait a minute, you're talking too fast. I can't even understand what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, but it's already at the end over here in my brain. And I'm still waiting to I can't explain, And he's like, can you please just explain? And he wants, okay, from the car, you turn on the ignition, you put this, put your foot on the accelerator. No, just do it. Go already. I'm not detailed, as you can tell.
Yeah.
And if you look in the chat box, by the way, Melanie, thank you for saying that. She was saying, she has some anxiety about lives and public speaking. Hearing you guys talking about your anxiety really does help. So you're welcome. That's why we want to talk about this, because if the world of real estate truly is moving to video, which I believe the whole world is moving towards video, like it's just, I don't think if you don't do video, you're going to be out of business. I don't think it's like that, but I do think you're missing out on a pretty big opportunity in a segment. So how do you get comfortable? How do you get used to it? What is that being present? Go ahead, Janki.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jesse, is that how do you get comfortable? And what do you say in order to first get comfortable? And like I said, I was lucky to have Jesse by my side to really help me with that first video, that 10-minute live. But I knew from inside, I was like, I was anxiety. I didn't know what to say.
Right, but that's, you hit the nail on the head. So you have to be comfortable with your content. It's just like giving a buyer consultation or a listing presentation the first time. You're gonna get comfortable with an outline, with a flow. You're gonna practice it, and it probably will be awkward, and you probably will be nervous. If you think about your very first clients you met, most people are probably a little nervous when you see it.
Yeah.
You're wondering, like, there's the whole imposter syndrome. If anyone watching this is familiar with the imposter syndrome, right? Yes. Are they going to figure out that I'm not any good at this? Are people going to notice? Those are natural thoughts to go through your head. And I think part of it is just being self-aware enough of like, oh, that's what that feeling is. Okay, I'm feeling this sense, and bringing yourself back to that being present. But yeah, that's pretty normal. And it means you're taking it seriously.
And you'll probably hear my puppy coughing. Sorry about that. I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Okay, no problem. I mean, we have a little bit left in this webinar, so I want to see, in terms of for you, Priyanka, so you don't consider this a video, what we're doing right now, which is hilarious, because to me, of course, this is a video. We're on video, right? But this is a conversation. So for you, it's more when you're doing videos. Is there a way to make your videos feel more like a conversation?
I guess I would have to have an audience, or I would have to have somebody there with me talking that I'm talking to. I know that I'm making a video and I'm imagining there's an audience out there, but I don't think that works for me. I think I have to have a one-on-one conversation kind of thing. So maybe having somebody there with me who can ask questions or who I can talk directly to may help. I don't know.
Well, that's absolutely something you could do. So depending on the type of video you are shooting and what you're doing, you could absolutely have someone, I've done this a lot with people, where you have someone off camera and they ask you questions, and you could literally edit that person out later, but it's still, the way you deliver it feels a lot more natural talking to someone else, or heck, put someone on camera with you and you're having a conversation about it if it fits for whatever type of video you're trying to make.
So I want to make a point right now, really, to tell you the webinar that I hosted earlier with Tessabella Jalton. And like I said, she is a queen of Instagram. For me, it was like, she says, okay, I'm at the airport right now, and I don't have I don't have my Excel to share my screen with, to give you what I prepared, my presentation. So let's just not wing it, but let's talk about it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say. So right away I looked at, and I said, okay, not a problem. Let's do this. And I'm like, okay, I'm caught I was freezing up, and I said, all right, I'm not going to freeze up. I'm going to see what the topic is. What is it about? And then while I was talking to her, I was reading, and I was multitasking, basically reading the topic of the webinar. And so I said, okay, I know great questions to ask her. And I just dived into it and made it natural flowing, to where, I asked her questions, she spoke, and she was getting a lot of background noise because she's, again, at an airport, and how I can help mitigate that as well. So it was, I thought that she was going to have a presentation, but she didn't, and that was perfectly okay. What do you do when the script is changed on you right away? Of course, I froze up. Even after doing so many webinars, I froze. I'm like, okay, go back to basics. What's basics? That is, look at the topic, and then drive in content out of it right away, which what the topic is, right? Just ask questions naturally that come to you. And that's something you taught me, natural questions.
Well, yeah, but and that's, I think it depends on the format of what you're trying to create. So you turned it into an interview, which is, they're all different skill sets. You have an interview, you have a part where like you're explaining something, you have like a teaching or training, and you have more like lifestyle stuff. So if you're watching this from like the mental side, if you're feeling like I got some anxiety about doing a live, do some lives first about things you actually care about and really like. Let that natural passion and things that you're interested in. Like when Priyanka does a live about, she loves to rescue animals and dogs. I bet if you did a live about dogs, you would never be nervous. You just talk about the dogs, show the dogs, super easy, right? But if you had to do a live that there was going to be some, upcoming change in Houston real estate zoning laws, and you didn't know much about it, but you needed to do like an update, like it would probably be anxiety provoking, right?
No, it's not anxiety. It's such a boring topic.
It's boring.
I'm sorry. You are asking.
And like I said, I knew she was going to say that. It's no filters. And I love this woman because no filters. And her and I can correlate together because I know that I'm like, oh, what's that? That's boring. I totally agree. But if you're talking to me more about, okay, tell me a little bit about your daily life or what's going on with my little angel right here, or, talking about puppies, which she loves and I love too. I could go on talking about her. And
real estate, I can go on, like investments, right? So I love investments. I have done videos for investors where, like, when we are updating a house. So it's like, look at how ugly this is. This is what we're going to do. We're going to remove this wall. We're going to do this. Those kind of videos are exciting to me. Talking about like, here's this upcoming listing. It's a 3-bedroom, and here's the bedroom, and here's the bathroom. Look what a great update the kitchen is. And this is where this is. It's just like, and I don't know why anybody watches those videos.
It's boring. It's repetitive.
No one does watch. No one really does watch them. And that's the thing is like, so if you want to take away from this, anyone watching this, write this down, talk about things that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Include things that are exciting to you. If it's exciting to you or interesting to you, that will come across and that will resonate. I mean, I think it's a good lesson, Priyanka.
And one thing is when you love what you talk about, people notice you and people align with you. We always say people work with people who they love and admire, or who they enjoy watching. And that's something that I have learned as well. When I do my videos, I'm not only talking about, and I've not done, personal videos in a long time on Facebook Live, but when I do that, I don't only talk about real estate. I talk about just having a cup of tea with my mom. Like, okay, Mom, let's talk about, and being, this year, of course, I'm at a very, my age is going to be like this milestone age. I'm not going to say it right now, but my mom is still here with me, and we just celebrated her birthday yesterday. And how she did, we've always grown up with dogs, and so make it different. It's not always about real estate. Do something that is natural, and you'll never feel that you're doing a video.
No, I have tried that. I did my listings with my dogs, right? So after 2 or 3 listings that we did with the dogs, we showed it from the dog's perspective. It starts to get boring. My fourth one was like, it's just very similar to the other ones that we did. And I stopped because I seriously, my biggest thing in life is I never want to be bored. I want to die happy. I want to die working. I do not want to retire and all those things. Like only thing in my life that I'm afraid of is being bored and boring somebody else.
So, all right. So here's a good last question then. So, is there a pressure? Is there like a feeling of needing to be constantly creative and continuing to push it forward? If you're feeling like, all right, I did this a couple of times, it was good. Now I need to come up with something else. Do you guys feel like a constant pressure to evolve and be creative, or no?
No,
I don't think it's a pressure. It's just like, I won't watch the same thing again and again. Why would somebody else would, right? So then I'm wasting my time and I'm wasting somebody else's time. And it all comes down to time thing for me.
Right.
If I'm showing listing, it was really like my first video was a hit when we showed it with a dog, right? So dog is showing the house and I was like, oh, this is so fun. The second one was still good. By third one, I start seeing audience dropping because it was a very similar thing. Dog is still talking about the house instead of me talking about the house. We're still talking about the same thing.
make it different, make it exciting. And the only way to engage people, to make it more exciting and engaging, I think is different content, not only real estate. Make it a mix. And that's what I just learned from her.
So other videos work. I thought we were talking about doing video for real estate business over here, right? We're talking to realtors kind of thing. And that's where I feel like we are always putting pressure, on realtors, like you need to do the videos about listing, do the videos about this or that. How many people actually watch that? So I'm okay. Like my other videos, with the dogs and seniors and all those are popular. They get audience. They get watched. My real estate videos are not. And for me, then why I'm creating that content if there are only 3 people are going to watch it?
Yeah.
So I have a theory that probably can be backed up by actual social media experts later, but I think more people are seeing your stuff than you realize. I think even if you look at the analytics and you're looking at like the video count and the people that engaged with it, because there's this, and I'm blanking on my statistics of what they're called, but if you look at the back end of your Facebook metrics, what it shows you, there's a lot more people that are just like being exposed to what it is who may not be responding or engaging. That I'm always surprised how many comments I get from people or texts or messages. And I'm not saying it's hundreds a day, but there's enough that like people see what you're doing and they notice, and it does stand out if it's video.
Okay, I'll tell you a secret where my business is coming from. So it is coming from the videos, but they're not coming from my videos. They are coming from the videos that my clients are doing, right? So they're testimonial videos, or they're just like, oh, we just bought a house and this is what happened and this is my realtor. And sometimes we're not even talking about realtor. People are asking like, what? You got your house $20,000 below market in this market? Like, how did you do that? Oh, can I get your realtor's phone number? Like, just happened. They just talked about like they got a great deal, right? And they posted it on Facebook, nothing to do with me. They're doing it over there, did not mention me or anything. And then suddenly I get a message on Facebook saying like, hey, so-and-so just gave me your number because you're their realtor. And I saw their post, how you negotiated a great price for them. Can you help us?
Right. So
I guess it is working, but it's working from there. And it has happened before also. Like, they have done something, or I have asked them to do a testimonial and I posted that and I got much more on their videos.
Check this out, Priyanka. Everything we just talked about for the last 40 minutes, instead of applying it to yourself, now go help coach your clients so they feel comfortable on video, so they can do video testimonial.
That's what I do. I just like, no. And they're just like, no, we are not very comfortable. We will do the written testimonial. I was like, just sit here and talk to me. So I make them do it.
That's awesome. I love it.
I love it too because so sorry, but I do have video testimonials as well at the title company.
If you guys wondering, by the way, that's Jonky's pup is not feeling well. That's the sound you hear on the back of her sound over there. No worries, Jonky. We got about 2 minutes left, guys. If there's any last things you want to pull this all together, it was really the whole idea today was to talk about the mental side of video, the emotional side of like getting on camera, what it feels like, how to do it, how to get to do it, how to get your clients doing it. I love that you brought that up, Priyanka. Right? Because if we can get our clients comfortable on camera, we can get video testimonials, which is absolutely getting you business. Anything you guys want to add to tie this together?
I want to know, what do you think is after videos? What is next after videos? Because videos has been done for past few years. I think it's peaking. And I think people are getting jaded with it. Like, remember I told you, like, I'm just tired of all the video content coming at me from all directions because everybody's doing it, right? I don't watch all the videos that you guys are doing. I'm sorry, Jesse. I know so many videos that you're doing, right? So it passes through my feed and I see like, oh, Jesse is doing this or Janki is doing this. I'm sorry, guys. I don't watch all the videos you guys are doing. If something catches my attention, I'll click on it. And I don't sit through the whole thing. Tristan did the video, right, other day, and I said, oh, this is interesting. And I think within first few minutes, I just like, it's really interesting. I'm going to come back because I have something else going on that I need to take care of. I never went back to it.
Well, I've got my theory. So we got 1 minute left. So Janki, we'll hear your guess for what's next. My guess is I actually think if you're looking for people to consume the content, because the video I think is still doing what it's supposed to do. It's almost like a billboard, whether they watch it or not, they've at least seen you. But people who consume your content, I think, is audio only. I'm noticing an increase on our podcast downloads, right? We have a podcast, Agent Power Huddle, the podcast versus the people watching the video. Clubhouse is an audio only platform, so people are getting engaged. What about you, Janki? 1 minute left. What do you think is the next?
I totally agree with you. I agree with you on Clubhouse. I agree with you on podcast. I'm transitioning from radio, which I have my own radio show, from radio show to also adding a podcast to it. So I think those two things are really going to stay around with video.
Well, regardless, we want you guys to feel comfortable. We want you guys to start getting whatever you can do, whatever we can do. We are here for you, right? This is if you're watching us on Facebook in the Lab Code Agents group, tag us, ask a question. We're happy to jump in. Whatever we can do to help you guys feel comfortable. Priyanka, Janki, this was fun.
Thank you.
I'm not comfortable with it, guys.
She'll get there eventually. She'll get there.
I'm sure Janki and Jesse will drag me screaming and crying.
Yes. She will, and she knows that too. So.
I love it. Have a great day, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.